Linebackers. You ready to get weird again?
I got to be honest with you. I didn't do much on this just because I figured that we were going to be coming up on our time limit, which
Yeah.
is happening. So yeah, let's get weird. I'll let you carry this one unless there's something that I really, really agree on or don't agree on.
8 through 6. That's all I got. I have Michael Barrett. 7, I have Tommy Eichenberg. 6 is probably a surprise, but I have Jeremiah Trotter Jr.
Okay,
That's
Jeremiah is my 4th.
Yeah. He's too stiff. He moves like a 60-year-old and a 20-year-old at the same fucking time somehow. Instead of turning, he like does this weird like fucking like hop step and like turns. Like he like hops and turns, so like he loses some of like his speed, which is not very much anyways. His agility and his change of direction, I just think is really, really poor. And I don't know if he really sees the run game as much as I would like to have a guy that big to maybe shoot a gap and stop a run like you would want him to. I just don't know if he has like the prototypical size. Like he looks really good. You see him on the field, you're like, fuck, dude. Like that dude looks like he can crush some dudes. And he can. He just has to get there first. So he's just piss poor in the pass game. And I have some questions with his eyes in the run game.
Yeah, to me, he's super smart. Super smart linebacker, puts himself in the right position to make plays, which is important because his size and speed and athleticism do not.
Yeah.
Not a starting linebacker in the NFL.
Yeah. Here comes a disagreement. My 5 is Edgerrin Cooper.
Yeah.
Which is your
2.
You said, yeah, okay. Yeah. I kind of explained you a little bit. He's out of position. He's out of where he's supposed to be a lot of the times. And where I was seeing him, he's really good shooting some of the gaps. But if he guesses wrong and shoots one of those gaps incorrectly, him missing his assignment is like blowing a play up way more than if he would have just stuck to where he was supposed to be. So it's like he's trying to be smarter than where he possibly really is, which could be fixed with a lot of film review and watching, but he's just all over the place sometimes. He's like a wild boar running around, trying to chase down anything he can, and he's trying to make up with it he's super fucking athletic. He's super quick, super athletic, but I don't know. I think he's trying to, I don't think sometimes he's trying to guess on where he's supposed to be, and I don't think he really sees it. That's me.
I don't know if you noticed, I took my headphones off because I don't want to hear you say anything bad about Edgerrin Cooper. So now that it seems like you're done talking, I'll put him on. No, I mean, I get what you're saying. I just think a lot of that's going to be cleared up by coaching. He's
sure.
He's explosive and he's angry and he wants to hit people. And I like that in my linebackers.
Absolutely.
I just want linebackers that are going to fucking get downhill. I know it gets manipulated by pre-snap motion. That's what everybody says. Every single draft manipulated by pre. I'm like, did you guys even scout the guy or did one guy do it? Everybody copied it. He's out of control, all that shit. That's fine. Let's coach the man up.
Yeah. Sure.
Again, a base down linebacker, probably not a guy that's going to be in nickel and dime situations, and that's fine. There's not a ton of linebacker depth here. So,
yeah. 4 is another surprise. Junior Colson is my 4.
Colson's my 3.
Okay. You wanna talk about Colson a little bit? Because we're probably not that far off.
Not a great athlete, decent. Yeah. I think that his background and the story and everything. Michigan wins an Natty, blah blah blah. I like that he's physical, and just like the opposite of Edgerrin, he's in position a lot, and he doesn't get fooled by the pre-snap stuff. But at the end of the day, he's not a super great athlete, so his change of direction and hips are super tight.
You see it,
and he's probably a starting 4-3 linebacker in base formations if he can get there. But the upside of like Edgerrin Cooper, his ability to me would make him worth more than taking Colson here, just because I think Colson comes out on the field day one, and that's who he's going to be as a player. his instincts are really good. He's hella smart. Not too much you can coach up there. He's just limited in the dynamics of explosiveness and athletic ability and shit like that. So
Sure. Yeah, no, I get it.
you must have something funky at 2-1.
2 and 3. I have weird shit. 1, I don't have anything weird, I don't think. 1's kind of like consensus I see for a lot of people. So Colson's 1 for a lot of people.
Then.
Yeah, Payne Wilson's the one for me. 2 and 3 are the weird. I have 2 guys I watched back to back, watched the same fucking games back to fucking back. Maurice Liafau is my 3, and then JT Bertrand is my 2.
Oh,
yeah. Some of the same stuff that we talked about Junior Colson about being like a below average athlete, it definitely shows up. He definitely has like some of the same like stiff hipness. But he always seems to be able to track down whoever. He's never out of position for me. But when the play goes to the opposite side of the field, he is able to snake himself to make that chase down tackle. I forgot who they were playing when I was watching it, but there was a play where his running mate, Maurice is on the other side, and the play ends up going to the left-hand side. And so they're all shifting, and he is right on the edge on the left. Sorry, it goes to the left. He's on his left, so the right-hand side. So he's on the opposite side, and he takes one step in, he sees where it's going, and he comes out, and he ends up making a straight V line. Exactly, his pursuit angle was perfect to take down the running back exactly where he needs to be, and he takes those pursuit angles are really, really impressive when he's on the opposite side of the field for someone who's not he's not an above average athlete from what I'm seeing, and is again stiff hips. He seems to be in the right position and puts himself in the right places time in and time out. With Maurice, I see a guy who's almost like the exact opposite. He doesn't put himself in the greatest positions, but he fights through a lot of blocks. I think he's pretty strong to fight through a lot of the don't put a tight end on him because he's going to get through it. And the guards, he's going to fight through those as well. He's going to be able to get off those blocks, disengage, and try to come up with those shoelace tackles pretty consistently. So as tacklers in the run game, I like both these guys. Bertrand is also another guy I see decent in coverage. He's not a great athlete, but he sits well in his zone. He reads the quarterback's eyes and kind of takes away certain parts of the field. That's kind of where I like him. But this isn't a really weak linebacker class. I see Payne Wilson as like a mid-second, a high second round pick. Outside of that, Bertrand could probably take in a late second, early third, and everyone else after that. I don't fucking care. Like, that's how I see it. Realistically, Edgerrin Cooper, Payne Wilson, Jeremiah Trotter, those guys are probably going to go mid-second, early third is probably where they're going. I know Bertrand is going to go on probably way later, but that's just how I see him. So, yeah, it's a funky-ass list, but yeah, that's how I see these guys.
Yeah, I mean, none of these guys except for Peyton Wilson are probably starters, and even Peyton Wilson has a super, super long injury history, and he's like 24. So,
yep.
Again, things that are going to be held against him.
Yeah. Yep.